game of adversity. We're gonna be up, we're gonna be down. We gotta stick together. Same as last week. Arguing, pick your brother up. Somebody drops the ball, pick him up. Somebody gets a touchdown, score that next play. You know,
do it, but today I wanna play. All this day in off the way. All season, I don't care about what this is talking about. I don't care about the fighting. We here.
We could go ban for ban.
We can go M for M.
$250,000 for the Maybach truck.
Double R with the factory rims. I got the 90, the years, the versions, the bribes. I'm really a threat.
It's got to the point that I don't even care. I got jewels in the safe that I don't even wear.
Bro, I do it for some shoes and some clothes. You can see what it'll do for a necklace. Right trail look like a spider. It's crawling $1 on just the accessories. She made me wanna go harder. I like her harder. I think I'm obsessed with her. They hit him up on his birthday. Did him the worst way. He had a death wish. I get right under their skin. I don't even try. I guess I can't help it. I'ma have love for bro for life. We talking, nah, I step with him. Of course you could beat me at talking. Ain't no back and forth until we catch up with him. Knocking the bag and making the opposite mad. I done fell in love with it. You can't sell fish with a cute one. Make a cat look good. This a new one. You the type like the type on computers. Got a mask, but he ain't no shit. Cause everybody counted us out. Everybody, the outsiders. Look at the outsiders watching us right here. And the rest is going back to one.
we right back where we was last year.
Turn up now.
What are you doing?
Turn up.
Now next in 2 weeks, bring that shit home.
Hey, grace and peace. Lou here for UFL devotional for playoffs. All right, I'll be reading from Romans 13, verses 1 to 3. And they read as thus. Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those that exist have been instituted by God. Therefore, whoever resists the authority resists what God has appointed, and those who resist will incur judgment. For rulers are not a terror to good conduct, but to bad. Would you have no fear of the one who is in authority? Then do what is good, and you will receive his approval. Is the reading of God's word. Now, it's interesting that I chose this particular verses, especially for the fact that we just finished our election. Now, there are many that may not agree with who won or have an issue with whatever, but the one thing that here in verse 1, it says that there is no authority except from God, and those that exist have been instituted by God. So in other words, God is the one who places our leaders in the office. Now, we might think, especially with some who might think with the 4 years of Biden, how horrible the economy has been or whatever. But in all of that mess, God still receives glory. God allows things to happen because men are sinful. You know what I'm saying? We have all an issue with sin, where sin runs rampant in a lot of our lives. You know what I'm saying? We are free to sin, but at the end of the day, there's a consequence for that. But back to this verse, I know for me, for example, I had an issue when Obama was president, and I kept blasting him on social media. And older brother in the faith DM'd me and was like, look, God is the one who placed him in power. So in other words, my anger was more towards God when God knows way better than me. So now, here's the thing. Respect your authority. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the authority that may be. Whether it's the police, your governors, your mayors. Just remember that God has placed those particular people to be over us. Last thing is, that this definitely applies to those who have put their trust and faith in Jesus Christ. My question to you, the listener, is have you done that? Have you put your trust and faith in Jesus Christ? Because at the end of the day, no matter who's in power, when you die, you're going to have to stand before a just and holy God. And if he sees your sin, there's only one place that you will go, and that'll be to hell, where the punishment is eternal. I would just encourage you to seek after God, ask him to forgive you of your sins. Start off with reading the book of John, or John and the book of Romans. If you have any questions, you can ask any of us here on the staff of UFL. And with that, let me pray. Heavenly Father, we just thank you, Lord, for this time, Lord. We thank you for your grace and your mercy, Lord. Just ask you, Lord, to bless the hearer, Lord. Lord, that you may prick their heart, Lord, and they may come running to the feet of the cross, Lord. Lord, we just pray for the remainder of the season, Lord. We thank you, Lord, that there have been no major injuries, Lord. And Lord, that your word will continue to go forth. Just thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, guys. All right. What is going on? What is going on? Welcome to Real Tough Talk. I'm Stephen J. Got my partner Ghost, my other partner Lou the Shooter, and we're here to bring out a championship game. Rep City, defending champions, versus PME, the defending Eastern Conference champions, in this rematch of the championship game.
Who would have thought that these two teams would have been facing each other? Like, nobody concluded, or nobody would have guessed that these two teams would be the finalists in the championship. The way their season was going, both teams looked shaky. You had Rep City towards the beginning of the season trying to figure out what quarterback that they're going to have to replace Adi. It didn't look good at first until like week 4. They kind of figured it out with Ad. And even then, they were unsure with each other. Guys at each other's throats, arguing. And then you had PME, consistently one of the worst defenses in the regular season. They couldn't stop nobody. And they had some of the best talent on the field. But it didn't matter the way that they were playing. It didn't come together until the playoffs for this team, which is almost unheard of for most teams that play in this league. So the fact that both teams are here just shows the testament to how well they turned the switch on in the playoffs. Rep City is known for that, but PME definitely was able to do it this season.
Well, this is my victory cigar for the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? Finally, can get away from Stephen J for a year. But
also, not to cut you off, victory to that shirt. That's the victory right there. That's the victory right there. Love it, love it, love it, bro.
You know,
I'm sorry.
With PME, yeah, the defense was bad. But think about this. If they have Rel for those 2 games that they lost, when they had actually 3 games that he didn't show up, right? Because Henry threw 1 game. Then you had the other 2 games. No, this guy won that game, right?
Antonio threw 1 game and won.
Okay. So let's say
lost,
games, if Rel was there, let's say they win, their record is different. As opposed to 4-5, they could have been 6-3. You know what I'm saying? Offensively, we know, that they could score, but their defense, I don't know if it just took adjustment, even though Henry and Wes played with Carver and they've played for a while together. But like Go said, it was surprising to see not so much PME, but Rep City in the chip, after all the drama from the beginning of the season.
Well, you're going to have PME coming in with this number 7th overall defense. They give up 20.1 points per game. So they had the worst defense. They improved towards the end of the season to end with the 7th defense. They're 4th in sacks, 3rd in interceptions. On the other side, Rep City finishes with the number 3 defense. They was first 2 years in a row. This year they were 3rd. They were 3rd in sacks, and they were 1st in interceptions. So they make plays on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, Rep City finished number 4th in offense, and PME finished number 6th in offense. Kind of went back from what they usually do as far as PME, but I think it just took the same time to gel with Henry and Western Tech, which kind of affected it all, and because Rel wasn't here all the games. Now I'm going to give you the starting offense of PME. They're going to get the ball first, starting offense. You're going to have Henry and Chad at the wideouts. You're going to have Wes and Shane in the slots. You're going to have Nico, Roman kind of in that 5-yard out. And you're going to have Courage blocking. Relly gets to start at the quarterback. On the other side, on the defense for Rep City, on the defensive side of the ball, you're going to have Cabby at the giver. You're going to have Finney and Dave at the corners. You're going to have Buto and Meech in the middle. And you're going to have Relly and Shady at the safeties. Now, we need to know who's the X factor. Lou, tell me who you think is the X factor for PME offensively.
Well, could I say FX factors?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I would say Henry, Wes, and Tech. Those three right there. And Shane. Offensively, they're able to spread the ball. You know what I'm saying? They have, I would say, if anything, they have more weapons than Rep City. So I would say those four right there.
Ghost, give me yours defensively.
And defensively for Rep City, I look at more than one person. I look at the corners. I look at the cornerbacks. I'm mentioning Finney and Dave because a lot of plays get caught on the sideline where guys miss where the receivers are lined up, and they get some big plays to really keep the drives going. So the corners have to play solid, stay on the sideline, and watch where these receivers are lining up, especially with the crossing routes. The corners are going to be big on watching where these receivers are lining up. If not, they're gonna get beat all day, and it's gonna affect the whole defense it's gonna affect the defense as a whole.
All right, Rep City's coming in off of beating the Monarchs to get to this game. PME's coming in off of beating GTM to get to this game. We'll jump right into the game. First down, Relly's going to throw to Henry open on the sideline. Meech tips the ball, but it's still caught by Henry, who runs up the sideline with blocking from Shane and Jaquan. Henry runs it into the end zone for the touchdown. 6-zip. PME, if you look here, Benny is at the corner watching the quarterback, and he doesn't see Henry moving up the sideline. Big touchdown by him, Lou.
That was a dumb defensive play. Again, what we've complained about all season, you're looking at the quarterback, how you don't see Henry. And then you step up to get the offensive player that's there, and you just, and I don't even know if Meech tipped it. You know, it was close. It was close.
He did.
Okay.
He did. But my thing is, he had no chance because the pass was thrown.
Yeah, that's bad for an opening drive.
And the thing about it is, and we've been saying it, Henry is fast enough to take a routine play and make it into 6 points. So as soon as he had the lane, he was able to take off, and Quan and Shane was able to step up and make those blocks. They were ready for that play. And that's why when you make any mistakes, they're going to take advantage, and that's exactly what they did for that easy touchdown there.
PME goes for the 2-pointer here, and they get it with Shane. Now, Henry, it's crazy that Henry made the All-Star team. He was an All-Star starter. Shane also made the All-Star team. So you got two players from PME who are All-Stars coming away with these two big plays on the opening drive. Great play by them there. 8-0 PME. Now, on the other side, I'm going to give you Rep City starters on offense and PME starters on defense. You're going to have Cabby and Shady. You're going to have Dave and Cologne. You're going to have Finney, Dot at the blocker, Ad at the starting quarterback. On PME's defense, you're going to have Courage at the ball giver. You're going to have Nico and West playing the middle. You're going to have White Shane and Twan. White Shane at the corner, which is very racist. And you're going to have Twan at the other corner. Henry and Jaquan will play the safeties. Now, what's interesting for me is Twan has been playing corner all season. Twan is a safety. Jaquan usually plays the middle. They moved Jaquan to the safety. So they got him playing in a different type of position. We're going to see Shane start in that corner. They kind of moved it. We've seen Jay start. We've seen Chad start. But they're going with Shane. Ghost, tell me who's your X factor on PME's defense. Luke, give me your X factor on Rep City's offense, starting with you, Ghost.
And anybody who watched this PME team, they should know exactly who's going to be the X factor on this defense, and that has to be Courage at the giver position. Understand that on a championship game, you got to get uncomfortable in the pocket. That's going to be the key. If they're able to do that, even though it's kind of a high ask because you got dot blocking, but Courage got to find a way to get in and put pressure on Ad and force him to make throws either in the pocket, rolling out, make him uncomfortable. That's the job. Once you're able to do that, it makes things that much easier for the secondary to make plays and lock up, and I think that's where their defense has to go.
Courage being an all-star for that defense. Go ahead, Lou.
Well, with Rep City, I would like to say White Shane is not racist. It's more so culturally inappropriate. But Cologne and Cabby, 7 and 6 touchdowns right there. Dave opens up the middle.
Yeah.
Brother. You know what I'm saying? But between those two, they got 13 TDs of ads, what, 22, 21?
21, yeah.
So that's basically half your touchdowns right there.
Well, I don't know if they have for Ad because remember, Shady started in the beginning of the season.
Right.
And Reggie started. But I understand what you said. Yeah. There were majority of the offense both players actually made all-star with all-star selections. So I exactly got what you said.
But I'm gonna tell you, but
it's also an all-star for Rep City at blocker. Go ahead, go.
Just real quick, Cologne actually started and getting he's kind of emerged around the same time that Ad emerged. So I think all his touchdowns were from Ad. So that we could confirm. Cabby, I think he was just a regular piece of the offense no matter what quarterback was there. And I think that's why he's always going to be a key piece on their offense regardless of who's throwing.
All right, we're going to jump right into the game. On this return, you're going to see Dave with a nice return running from the end zone, getting to the 48-yard line. That is a nice return. Way to start the momentum, especially the way PME scored right away. After getting the first down, Ad throws to Dave in the middle for a decent gain. On 4 rush, he throws to Finney, cutting in the middle. The pass behind him, picked off by Twan. If you look here, Cologne was wide open, and Ad missed him. This is a bad throw by him going to Finney. When you had Cologne, the pressure kind of thing got to Ad. Tell me what you think about the play, Ghost.
Right away, Ad is worried about the pressure coming in. As you saw, B-Dot is blocking, but Courage is fighting his way, inching closer to Ad. So Ad moving, being uncomfortable, he made an inaccurate throw on the rollout, and it looks like the pass was behind him, right to Twan. If you look, Twan is pointing out from the beginning of him cutting, and then he goes to pick him up on the cut in the middle, and he's able to step up and snatch that ball for the interception. Wait for the defense to step up and make a big play. Twan following the receiver. They know that guy's been getting killed with the crossing routes all season. He was able to stay with him on the corner and get a big play there.
You know what? And he had Dave. It's Dave number 0 in the middle. He had him in the middle, and he just forced that ball into triple coverage. Bad mistake by the rookie.
And listen, it's different with these lights, man. 161 lights is different, and you're playing a number 7 defense, but they're not 7th in talent. They just took time to get it together. Now that they're on the same page as playoff run, this team is very dangerous on the defensive side of the ball, led by Courage. I won Rookie of the Year, but he's still a rookie. This is a whole new ball game playing in this game, and he's going to throw an interception.
Hold on 1 second, Jay. I think if anything, because of Courage, how Courage has played this year, he was there, but he wasn't. The pressure wasn't on him, and he might have just let go of the ball because he's expecting him.
That's what it was.
That's the point. Yes.
Yeah.
And they struggle with that all year. You seen Dot talk to him all year, saying you have time, but because of Ad's inability to run the ball,
right,
he's always looking at the giver coming in at him, and that's an issue, and it hurts him here. After PME gets the ball, after getting the first down, Relly rolls right. Throws a shovel pass to Courage, who runs for a decent game. Rep City got caught on this one. They didn't realize it, and they left Courage to get some yards. Second down, Relly with blocking from Curvis. Throws the Tech in the gap, getting into the 15-yard line. Tech was an MVP of the championship game for Carver in EHS. He's on this team he's like the third, fourth receiver, which is even more dangerous there. He makes a good play there. Third down, Relly finds Shane cutting in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Tech gets the extra point. 15-0 PME. If you look here, Relly gets killed. And Relly is usually playing what? The safety. If you look how he drops back, he's dropping back as he's playing a zone. But it looks like they're manning up. Shane sees the gap that he gives him, bolts to the right, and Rel sees the same thing Shane sees and hits him right there for the touchdown. This is all on Rel because Rel is not a great man-on-man guy. So he's giving him cushion, but he gave the outside, and it goes right there, Lou.
And you know what it is? Like you said, he plays safety, and you're playing corner, and you're playing like a safety, and you gave way too much space. You know what I'm saying? That might not have even been the play. Like you said, Shane saw it, made the move, and Rel saw him right there. That was bad defense right there.
Right.
You know, now you know, 2 drives and 2 scores.
Right away. 2 drives, 2 scores.
Yep.
All right. Rep City gets the ball. Third down after 2 short plays. Ad throws the Cabby wide open on the sideline for a nice gain and the first down. If you look here, Twan and Henry switches late and Cabby's left open. Cabby's your #1 receiver. You got to look for this guy first. He's made the All-Star team. You got to look at this guy first. They moved him up to their first-round pick. You got to look for this guy first. Ad needs to know where Cabby's at all times, and he finds him there. Ad will block him from Dot. Those are Dave in the gap for a decent game, getting to the 11-yard line. This is a great play by Dot, giving Ad protection. Second down, Ad will block him from Dot. Those who crump in the front of the end zone, off target, incomplete. But if you look here, Ad was nervous in the pocket. Break this one down for me, Ghost.
And the thing about this is, Courage is inching closer and closer. B-Dot is blocking him, definitely he is, but the fact that Courage is able to shift and really move and make Ad have to worry about where he's gonna line up, where is he coming from? Because at any given moment, Courage could probably inch by, so he's worried about them looking from him at the side of his eye. And the thing about it is, after the play, Dot is telling him, relax, chill, I got you. Don't worry, I got you. Trying to calm him down, trying to give him more confidence in the pocket. We'll see how that goes in the next few plays.
And Jay, like we was talking before the show, where was Courage lined up at? He was lined up and Nico was off the ball, you know what I'm saying, in that zone, and you couldn't really tell who was who. I'm saying, well, obviously you could tell that it wasn't Courage because Courage was too far over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that was a great defensive play by them.
What they were doing was, first of all, they're letting Pams know how to switch. You must let the ref know when you switch the giver. And then the ref has to announce it. Well, they're saying it quick, and Pams is announcing it. What they do is they're leaving Nico at the giver and rushing in Courage. But Nico's dropping back within the 5 yards in coverage. So because the giver's allowed to drop back 5-5-5, he's dropping and it's confusing them because you know Courage is the giver. I mean, you know Courage is at the blitzer and you know Nico's the giver. But the way Nico is moving is confusing them. It's one thing when you prepare for it, but then once the bullet is flying, you get confused. And that's what they're doing. Dot knows what's going on because Dot is immediately blocking Courage. Ad is confused. And this coverage is awesome the way they got, and it's making them collapse the pocket because instead of Ad moving, he's watching Nico and trying to watch Courage, which is breaking down the pocket, which is why he can't see the field because he's watching the pocket. Third down, Ad, now they switch back. Third down, Ad on 4 rush is sacked by Courage. If you look here, Courage gets to Dot for the sack. This is more on, I don't put this on Dot. Ad has to escape the pocket. He's not. He's so confused on what's going on. And you see Dot and Adi have a different chemistry than Dot and Ad. Adi knows how to slide away to give Dot more field position to block. Ad does not collapse, and Ad is no threat of running. at all, which Adi is. And the defense knows that, which is why they can drop into more coverage and not have to bring somebody at the line of scrimmage. That's a great sack there by Courage, Lou.
Yeah, and he froze for a second. You know, when he saw Courage coming, he froze and then tried to make a move. It was too late then. And that was a sack. I don't care if there was arguing about the play. That was definitely a sack.
4th and goal. Ad throws a shady in the front of the end zone. The ball is tipped by Jaquan, picked off by Henry, gives PME back the ball. If you look here, Ad rushes to throw. Ad looks like a deer in headlights. This stage looks like it's too much for him. He is not breaking down the information. He does not know what's going on. And Ghost, you talked about this all season, about Ad throwing the ball up and it floating. Well, we seen it get tipped earlier, which caused Grunt to drop it because it was off of a tip. And now we see Jaquan get it tipped in, which it gets tipped to Henry for the interception. So exactly what you said when Ad first started, Ghost, we see you look like a prophet because it's becoming an issue right now.
And then you got to understand that if you set plays up like this where you have a quick throw, a lot of times a guy like Adi can make that throw because you have zip on your pass to get it there before the defense can react. Ad's pass has air under it, so you can't catch him by surprise with these quick throws. They're going to be able to react because the ball stays in the air for too long. So that's exactly what happened there. The way Ad throws, you are not made. The way you throw, listen, nothing against him. I'm not criticizing saying he can't throw. But this is a type of play that Ad should not be throwing because you're not going to catch any defense by surprise the way the ball floats in the air. So, unfortunately, he tried to catch him there. They were ready for it, and they were able to make a play.
15-0, PME gets the ball back. Third down after an incomplete pass. Rel on 4 rush, throws deep to Chad. With Meach guarding him, the pass is incomplete. PME will end up punting. This is their first punt in the game. Rep City finally makes a stop. Lou, this was big because if they score on this drive, they pretty much put them away, and that is a good championship defense by Rep City. I think PME got too excited because they scored twice early, and instead of taking the time to try to score, I think this offensive drive there was inefficient, and that's a big stop by Rep City, Lou.
And you know, if it, I don't know if it was a route that was run wrong because he threw it to the outside, and Chad isn't running that way. But like you said, it was good defense regardless of the fact, no matter where he threw it, because the defender was there. But 2 out of 3 possessions, not bad.
All right. Third down, Ad throws a test on the sideline. That's going to be dropped. Next play, Ad with blocker from Dot. Throws deep to Cabby, who's guarded by W. Shane on the sideline. Knocked away by W. Shane. Rep City have to punt. W. Shane stops for White Shane. They call him White Shane, which is incredibly racist. You could just say Shane, but they're saying White Shane because I guess the only way you can tell the difference is saying black and white. Hey, Michael Jackson did it. Why not? That's a big stop by PME, stopping this offense, Ghost.
Listen, first of all, I guess there's not enough white people that's watching these videos of these games, because then they will be like, yo, why don't you call this guy Black Shane then? Like, why is one called White Shane and the other one's called Shane? One has seniority over the other? I don't get it. But listen, regardless of what, with all seriousness, that's just good defense by PME. They're playing consistent, and all honesty, 2 out of 3 drives, they come away with an interception. This one, they come away with a stop. They are locking up and giving Ad problems with their defense. They're doing their job, and for some reason, Rep City is not able to find their way into the end zone. They are struggling this first half. They are not looking good right now.
PME gets the ball back. Rel throws a Shane in the middle for a decent game, picking up the first down. All right, next play. Rel is blitzed by Buto, who's blocked by Courage. Rel throws deep to Breezy, overthrown, incomplete pass. Second down, Rel on 4 rush, throws a Shane cutting in the middle, almost picked off by Rel. Listen, Rel played coverage better on this than he played last time. Rel is a straight safety, and this he played well. Great play by Rel there to almost get the interception. Needed that one, but couldn't really hold on to it. Last play before half, Rel throws it up, picked off by Rel, who gets past the 50, but it's tagged, taking us into the half, 15-0. Ghost, Lou, If Rel could have ran this one back, he took off. But remember, they call him Uncle Rel, so he's kind of up there in age. But if he could have ran this one back, completely different game. They're able to chase him down. They got a lot of speed demons, though. They're able to make the tag. But at least Rep City's able to make a stop, and that's going to take us into the half. 15-0. Hear me.
I just want to say one thing. Rest in peace, Ghost, on that play, because you saw.
Oh, no. It wasn't that bad. I believe that was Dave who ran into me. He didn't throw me. I didn't fall. I didn't fall or anything like that. He just collided with me while I was recording. I tried to dodge and get out the way. Usually I do, but he was coming so quick that I had no choice but to just brace myself, you know? And I apologize for running into him, but he was so focused on trying to block Pharrell that, you know, he wasn't even worried about it. But my thing is, Rel wanted that ball so bad. He wanted to make a play so bad for his team that even though it was a toss-up play, he was able to get it. I think he wanted that last play beforehand so they can have a shot to get into the end zone at least. But listen, their offense is struggling. Their offense is what's killing them right now. And that is all Ad, because he is unsure of himself in the pocket with Courage coming in. The fact that he is not confident in the pocket, that's what's killing him. He's not able to make certain passes the way he's supposed to. He's rushing certain passes because he's always worried about the pass rush. As long as that's the case at any given time, they're going to struggle. The thing about it is you barely see him trying to make past the cabbie. You know, he's not able to because he's worried about the pressure. Until they change that and Ad gets more comfortable in the pocket, it's going to be the same way in the second half.
And, you know, and it was, what, 2 passes to cabbie this half?
Yeah.
You know, one that he caught, and then the other one that Pale Shane made the good defensive play.
Right. Go ahead, Lou. What's your thoughts?
We already said Rep City is being hurt by the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? The pressure, there's pressure there, but it's not that bad of a pressure that if you calm down and trust your blocker, you can make some passes. You know what I'm saying? They're playing good defense, Rep City. You know, your quarterback put you in a bad position with the interception to Twan. You know what I'm saying? You can't really complain about the defense. It's your offense. If the quarterback can in the second half calm down and find the open man, you might have a chance.
I think my issue is first of all, PME took their foot off the pedal. They scored the first 2 drives, and then they punt, and then they throw an interception. They're only up 15 zip. Yeah. They could have put this game away in the first half. Yep. Easily. And we've seen Rel take his foot off the gas. This offense take their foot off the gas. Defense is playing great. Defense got 2 interceptions, and they forced them to punt. So their defense is playing great. But the offense had a chance to really put Rep City away, and they didn't. On the other side, Rep City, the reason we call guys rookies is because when it's your first time playing in this league, it's different. Ad looks like a rookie right now. Completely look like a rookie. He's moving away from pressure that's not there. He's getting his ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. He's unable to run. He's not even a threat of running, and the defense knows it, which becomes an issue. Ad moves like a statue. If you remember, statues can't move. So once you collapse the pocket, he's just getting rid of the ball. He's seeing pressure that's not there. He got to trust Dot, and he has to make plays. This is a very dangerous defense, and this is not the same defense he faced early in the season where he put up 4 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Completely different chemistry-wise, and we got to see what happens in the second half. Ad gets the ball. He's blitzed by Courage, who gets by Dot, but he slips as Ad rolls right, throws a cabbie, cutting near the sideline for a nice gain and the first down. This is a sack. If Courage does not slip, Ad is going to get nailed. But that sniper made him slip, and that was a great play for him to get rid of the ball. But Courage is on a mission to get Ad ASAP.
And to understand that Courage is working himself trying to get to the quarterback. That's his one position. That's his one focus. And on this one, he does that quick swim move to get right by Dot. And that's one move that I haven't seen a lot of players really be able to stop. Once he's able to catch you with that swim, he's gone. Because he's quick enough to get to the quarterback there. He just slipped right as he got past Dot. If he doesn't slip and he keeps his balance, that is a definite sack. But wait for Ad not to stay still and wait for the guy to come at him. He rolls right when he needs to and makes that pass to Cabby. First of all, you got to give the ball to Cabby way more. Cabby's supposed to be, if he has to be the only receiver on the field, keep going to him. Because it seems like more times than not, Cabby's coming down with the ball. That's going to have to be their main focus moving forward.
Ad with blocking from Dot. Those are Cabby in the back of the end zone. Cabby makes the catch, but it's called out of bounds. Rep City never challenges. You two give me what y'all thought of this play.
And I looked at this play on two angles. My angle and my niece's angle here. Hers, you can see where his feet land, but she's kind of, if the ball is going away from her. But if you look, it looks like he's in the, like right here before he jumps, he's about to jump for the ball. He's in the end zone here. His feet are down. But right as he jumps and then he lands after the catch, I think he just lands on the line. And that is why even they weren't sure that he was in, because they would have challenged if they were sure that he was in. But listen, this was a good play, but I don't think Cabby needed to jump for this pass. I think that this was going to sail in his hands anyway, and he probably would have landed in bounds.
Lou, before you start, I think he jumped because Shady was there. Shady did not belong there.
Yeah.
Shady was an extra defender. That hurt Cabby because Jaquan gets there late. This is Shady. Shady, who hasn't really played this season. He's played injured. He's a championship MVP. I guess he thought he had to make something happen, and he did in a negative way. Because if he's not there, I think Cabby straight up catches this. I think because he's there playing defense for Rep City, even though they're on the offense, and Cabby's his teammate, he interfered with this play, which messed up Cabby's timing. Now, Cabby's jumping up and down, going crazy.
Right.
Cabby never signals to them to challenge.
Yeah.
He never signals them. And also, if you look in the back of the end zone, did you see any of the spectators put their hands up?
No.
We've seen all the time, Lou. They'll put their hands up. Not one guy put his hands up.
Nah.
And Rep City did not challenge it.
You know why? Because all those guys are against Rep City. That's why they didn't go for to put their hands up. Listen, they're biased, but no. Listen, all things considered, to be serious, yeah. The funny thing is, are you saying that Shady was kind of, taking some payments on the side, trying to help the other team playing defense? That's what you're saying. Yeah. Now, I know you're not saying it seriously, but my thing is, it is true that he did not belong there at all. But Shady, he's there to make a play. Regardless of where the ball is.
Well, you're right. He made a play. He did. It was just a negative play. Go ahead, Lou, what you thought?
Right. I'm gonna tell you like this. That play was close, and from Ghost's angle, is kind of a tough play tough to see. But Shady was open, because you got to remember, he didn't run with Cabby to get there. He ran after. I guess because you can't really see, but the corner left him, so that's why he ran upfield. He probably didn't see Cabby.
Yeah,
I could see why he went for the ball. And yes, it could have affected Cabby making a play, but on that particular play, I see why you would throw it to Cabby, because Cabby's in the end zone. But
he was open. He was open on that play anyway. Because Jaquan got there late, so Cabby was open on that play.
Cabby was open, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I could see why he threw it to him, but also I see why Shady ran over there too.
And understand though, listen, if you have a choice between last year's championship MVP and Cabby, I'm still throwing it to Cabby. I'm sorry. So at the end of the day, I made the right decision. It just didn't work out on that one.
All right. Second down, Ad with blocking from Dot. Throws a test on the sideline. Incomplete. Courage is forcing the pressure. And look at this right here. Shady's wide open. But what happened? Listen, Ad's watching the pressure. Yeah. This guy is about to call SOS 911. Somebody save this guy. Because he's having nightmares of Courage. Courage is bringing in the pressure. Courage is giving Dot fits. And you know what I think they should have did? I'm bringing in Grunk, and I'm bringing two blockers. I'm double blocking Courage. Who we seen do this? Who is one of the most dominant pass rushers we seen a few years ago?
Oh, you're talking about Damo. Yeah.
Damo.
Yeah.
What did UTF do in that Final Four? They blocked him with 2 guys.
Yep.
Rep City never adjusted. They had G for UTF. G was a former blocker of the year. But they still brought help, and they double blocked him. Rep City got caught up in, Dot is their guy. No, I'm trying to win a game, and Courage is dangerous to block. Why not keep 2? What that does is it isolates everybody on one-on-one, because you got to send help. They don't, and I think Courage gave Dot fits all day. Third down, Ad is blitzed by Courage, who's blocked by Dot. Ad throws a cabbie in the back of the end zone, knocked away by Jaquan. This was a floater. That's why Jaquan was able to get there and knock it down, Lou. He floated this one.
But Lou, real quick, this was another play where they switched the giver and Courage confused him with the rush in from the center position. Dot knew that he was coming, but Ad again is worried and confused about what's going on. This happened early in the game, and it happened again, and they were not able to adjust, like you said, and that was the outcome.
And you know, and it's funny, Ghost, because he lined up, he blitzed from almost to give a position.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what confused him, because Nico comes at 4.
Right.
Yeah. Because he backs up, like you said earlier, Lou, he backs up like he's going in the secondary, and then that 4 rush, he rushes in.
And that's what made him make the bad throw, because Nico's rushing in.
Yeah.
But the problem is, Ad is not on the same page as Dot, because Dot knows Courage is coming. So Dot knows that they adjusted, because if you see how Dot is lining up, he knows there's a change of giver. This is Ad. This is all Ad. He's not on the same page. Dot is. And you got to say it. The veteran, the UFL League MVP of last year, would have known this. He knows how to break it down. Ad don't. Looks like a deer in headlights. He looks confused, and it's working. 4th down at the 14-yard line. Ad rolls right. Throws a Cologne in the back of the end zone. Tipped by Jaquan. Picked off by White Shane, which is very racist. Gives the ball back to PME. And again, look what happened. Is it a coincidence that Jaquan tipped 2 passes? That ball is floating. And because it's floating, PME's breaking to it and getting a hand in another tip pass that leads to an interception. This is Ad's 3rd interception of the day.
And 2 that were tipped and caught for interceptions. So listen, this team is responding and jumping to the ball. Like I said, because the ball has air under it, they're able to go and knock it out of the air. But the thing about it is the pressure from Courage is what's killing them. That's what's killing them, because Ad is not comfortable. So now he's throwing passes off the back foot or rolling out. He's not confident, and you see that throughout a lot of his throws. And PME is just taking advantage over and over and over again. And like you said earlier, they should have 2 guys blocking, because that blitz there came in the way he did it. Ad was confused. If you have another blocker there, that person could stop Nico from rushing it. So you got to have extra help there, and leave the other receivers one-on-one if you have to, and trust that they're going to find a way to get open. They don't do that, and this is yet another stop from an interception by this PME defense.
15-0, PME gets the ball back. Rel throws a Fig on the sideline. Finney misses the tag. Fig cuts inside, running for a nice gain and a 1st down. Listen, people kind of forgot about Fig. He played earlier in the season. He's a speed demon. He's a role player on this team. We see him be a big player before. He's playing a role. He's like their 5th receiver. They bring him in for special plays. This was a special play to get a big game. Rel on 4 verse throws the Fig in the middle for a decent game. 2nd down, Rel is blitzed by Meach, blocked by Courage. Rel throws a Shane in the gap, knocked away by Finney. That's a good coverage by Finney. This is one all-star Finney playing against another all-star in Shane, and Finney comes away with the play. But Courage is able to make enough time to give Relly a chance to roll in the pocket and make a play, but this is a great play by Finney there. 3rd down, Relly on 4 verse throws a Henry cut in the gap, incomplete. No one's open. That Rep City championship defense is playing now. 4th down, Rel on 4 rush, It stopped at the 5-yard line. Turnover on downs. They're able to make a stop. They have stopped PME on PME's last 3 possessions. Great defense by Rep City.
And and that was the pressure on that 4th down play. They sent a blitz, and the pressure was there, which forced Rel to make the bad throw.
Exactly. Rep City gets the ball back. Add on 4 rush, throws to Dave in the middle for a decent gain. If you see here, Rep City's trying to turn up the pace now. 3rd down, Ad with blocking by Dot. Throws to Shady open on the sideline, who makes a catch, stays in bounds for a nice gain. PME challenges the play, but the play stands. What you think of the play, Ghost?
He was in on this play, and I think that Doughboy took a chance that I don't think he needed to take. That's a timeout loss for them because Shady got this play. He was in. You saw his feet in bounds. I don't think that was worth risking taking a timeout on that play. He was clearly in. And regardless of what, make a stop on the next drive. You really don't need to waste a timeout, which weren't about one play. When you have to worry about.
I disagree with both of y'all completely. Doughboy used this to slow down the pace. Rep City started going with the pace, and
too much credit right now.
Yeah, I think so too.
PME is against the rope, so when you challenge this play, it's like using a timeout. You challenge it because maybe you get lucky and he's out of bounds, but you slow down Rep City's momentum of a speed pace. PME was not ready for this drive, and I think that's a good challenge. Rather than use an overall timeout, you use a challenge. See if maybe you could get away with one, but you could slow down.
I'm gonna tell you, but I'm gonna give you more
challenge.
context. Listen, and I like to disagree with Jay and prove him wrong because even the defense of PME was upset with the challenge. They wanted to keep the play to keep going. They wanted to move to the next play. One of their main guys, Henry, was mad that they challenged the play because he wanted for their momentum on defense to stay in sync. Because the longer you stay in weight, the colder your body gets. And the more stiff you're going to be moving and trying to catch up to these players. So that's one thing that they were worried about at the same time. They weren't worried about the challenge. That's the sideline that was worried about stopping this play. They were confident enough to just move on to the next play. And ultimately, we can't necessarily say who it hurt here, but I think that's pretty much what they were saying on the field.
All right, Ad is going to get the play. He's going to roll left with blocker from Dot. Throws a Cabby on the sideline. Cabby makes a great catch, makes a move, cuts inside, reaches for the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown. If you look here, Twan is going to intercept the extra point. But if you look here, Twan reacts late on the switch. And Cabby, a guy who I thought you got to get the ball. Cabby should have 10 catches per game. He finally really gets him involved in this drive, and Cabby's able to capitalize. And PME, Rep City gets their first score on their 5th possession. They score their first touchdown, Lou.
Yeah, and you can't see where Twan was there late. And you know what? On this play, Ad finally seems a little under control and finds the open man. And that was a great move by Cap. It was a little lazy defense there, but now you got a little momentum. Now you're down 1 score.
But then you gotta look at it like this. The thing about it is, if you look, remember the earlier play early in the game where they've switched late. This is the same type of play where these guys, it's Twan and Henry. Before, it was Henry that switched late and got bound to Cabby late. This time, Twan switches over, but is still looking at the quarterback, and that's why Cabby gets behind him and is left open. It looked like Twan tried to respond and run at him late, and because of that, he runs right by Cabby, and that's why Cabby was able to dodge that first tag and pretty much nearly dives into the end zone. Cabby fought for that touchdown because he's been asking for the ball and to be the target and to get into the end zone all game. So when he finally gets it, he fought for that touchdown because he knew he needed it. That was a huge play by Cabby to get open and find his way to the end zone there.
15-6 PME. Rel gets the ball. Rel with a pass to Shane on the sideline for a decent game. Second down, Rel is blitzed and sacked by Buto. Buto surprised the offense as he's able to get the sack. But I don't think Rel was throwing the ball anyway. I think Rel, he's up 15-6 with the ball. He's trying to run the clock. I don't think he was trying to look to score. But that's a great play by Buto. He finally gets in and get a sack. Rel on 3rd down throws a Shane in the middle for a decent gain, picking up the first down. If you look here, Doughboy is flagged for cursing, 15-yard back. I think this killed them here. This cursing by Doughboy, no reason for him to curse. I don't know what he said. I don't know why he said it.
I'm gonna tell you why. This is the thing. Remember the play that you just said that that Rel took the sack?
Yes.
Because they were running the clock and they did not want them to throw the ball. Henry was coming in to kill the clock after the first down, and Doughboy screaming, "Do not throw the ball." He's not thinking that they're listening and they know, so that's when he started cursing, getting mad, thinking that they're ignoring him, and that's when Wes and them got like furious with him. I think that was Jaquan that got furious with him because they already knew. Come and talk to him. Yeah, Jaquan already knew. Like they knew that they're not throwing the ball. So why you just let them manage on the field? But Doughboy wants this game so bad that that's why he's going crazy on the sideline.
Henry comes in and he's gonna run 3 times to kill the clock, and PME's gonna punt. Lou, this game, PME's handling this game like it's over already.
Right.
It's 15-6. Rep City needs to find a way to score and get the ball back. But PME pretty much know the game is over, and I think they completely took their foot off the pedal. They're just trying not to make a mistake to give them a better opportunity.
I think that this is around a 2-minute warning. The thing about it is they made Rep City use all their timeouts. So right now, they don't even care that they punted the ball. They figure, you know what? They're going to run the clock out. They're not going to score, or they don't have time to catch up because they're down more than 2 scores. So they figure, you know, we got this game. So like you said, they did take their foot off the pedal.
Go ahead, Lou.
I would, you know what? And you know, you mentioned PME taking their foot off the pedal in the first half. I don't think so much in the first half. It was just they couldn't score. But this this particular drive definitely taking their foot off the pedal, especially when Rep doesn't have any more timeout. You know.
All right, Ad gets the ball. 3 passes in the gap for a decent game. 4th down, Ad throws to Dave in the middle. Dave's gonna make the miss the tag, run for a nice gain, picks up the first down, which stops the clock. This game is pretty much over. That first down is the only thing that stopped the clock because Rep City has no more timeouts. Right. 2nd down, after a short pass, Ad throws a shady open in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. 15-12. This game is not as close as it looks close, but they're at least able to get on the scoreboard.
And a little too late here, and I think that's because, you know, PME is now really, you know, they figure, okay, we could give up a touchdown. They still have to get the ball back to score again. So they're like, this doesn't hurt. They're just trying to get the game over with. They leave Shady wide open. And then as they score, nobody was mad. Nobody said anything. They just said, all right, let's move on. They didn't even go for the extra point because they knew that it was pointless in the end.
You know what's funny, though? It seems like Shady was at the spot where Cabby would have should have been.
Earlier, yeah. Well, Rep City's gonna go onside. They're gonna throw the ball way too far. Man. You would think the ball to be closer. You want the ball to bounce, but they threw it farther. If you look here, Henry has an opportunity to call fair catch, falls pretty much completely on the ball, ending the game. PME, the new UFL champions, 15-12.
I'm ecstatic for Doughboy because finally he can have something to brag about. You know what I'm saying? You know, but yeah, this was a, like you said, it wasn't as close as if the score shows. You know, missed opportunities in the first half by Rep City that cost them the game, basically. You know, good defense on both sides. Unfortunately, Rep City couldn't capitalize on plays that they should have.
We're gonna jump right into the interviews. We get to talk to PME. We get to talk to Stoney from Rep City, and we'll come back and give our final thoughts. Stephen J here with owner Doughboy of PME, where they just beat the defending champs Rep City in the championship 15-12. You was in the championship last year. You lost. What are you feeling right now?
I feel great, man. Last year when we lost, I cried. It was
cry, baby.
Yo, it broke my heart. Like I told you before, I wanted to win this league so bad. Always wanted to win this league, and finally do it. I feel blessed. You got a lot of emotion going on. You can see it, and this is what football's all about. What do you feel about your team right now? I feel great, man. We started from the bottom. All the leagues we go to, all PME sucks. Queens this, Rel's always, you're going to lose because of Rel. They're going to do this, they're going to do that. And every time we prove people wrong, man. It's just, I love my team, man. I love my team, man.
Is it better because you beat the defending champs, the team that beat you last year? Is that like the cherry on top for you?
Yeah, man. It was revenge. It was like they broke my heart, so I had to get it back in blood.
Henry wins MVP. A lot of teams were scared to draft him. You grabbed him as soon as you saw him available on the board. What made you decide you got to go get Henry despite what other people said about him?
He's the best in the city, the best player in New York City, and he got that winning mentality. I wanted him to bring it to us, because you know we a team. We win here, there, but he brought us together. Like, he took us to the next level that we had to go to championship level.
Tell me about your quarterback. Brother's been disrespected. He had an interview and he said this is not real football. Teams took it personal when what he says. What are you feeling for him coming out and winning this championship?
I feel happy for him, man. He deserves it, man. Hey, that kid deserves it. That kid deserves it, man. He hears all the bullshit. Everybody throws him in the ground. It's always something to say. He said that fake football thing, and everybody just, that's all we hear now. Oh, this ain't real football. He's a dog. He likes football. He said it wrong. Everybody knows that. But he's a dog, and he deserves this. And he's just going to get better as we keep going.
Jaquan had a devastating injury on the Achilles rupture. He came back. He was able to play this season. Tell me what it means like for you to watch him win the championship.
I ain't going to lie to you, man. When he went down, I thought it was over. I ain't going to lie. I told people when we went into EHS after he got hurt, I said, let's drop out. Let's not go in. And the team just believed in each other. Let's say, yo, let's pick him up. Let's keep playing. Let's keep building. Let's keep getting PME as a brand, building the brand. And when he came back, he left over where he left.
You got West in the second round. West been going through a lot of criticism this season based on things he's saying not wanting to be drafted. Why did you have to get him in the second round?
Just like Henry, man, he's one of the best players in the city, and they both come from that Carver brand. They know the winning way. They know the recipe to win. So I needed them to come teach us the recipe, so we could win, and it worked. Everybody talked about him. Oh, he's been playing bad. He's been doing this, but when it was playoff times and the lights turned on, he performed.
You are up here. You won a championship at the field with some of the best. Carver Mob, IOD, Super Friends, some of the best in the game, and now you can add PME to that list. What are you feeling? What's the thought of that?
I feel great, Jay. I feel great, man. The little 2 weeks we had off, man, oh my God, my brain was going crazy. Even this morning at the game, I'm in my house pacing back and forth, thinking, I'm praying to God. I'm doing anything. I'm like, God, please give me one. I just want this one. Right. UFL, I wanted it. Right. And I got it.
Shout to Doughboy, yo. He been criticized. He went through a lot, and now he's a champion. That's all that matters. He's a champion. He's a champion, a UFL champion. Let him enjoy the moment. All right. Stephen J here with Stoney, captain and coach of Rep City, where they had a heartbreaking loss, 15-12. Ad seemed to pick up late in the game. What was the issue in the beginning where he seemed to be really cold? He didn't score his first touchdown until the second half.
As a team, we started out cold. I ain't gonna lie. Came late. Some people ain't warm up. But they started early. They set the tone, and we picked up late. Can't say nothing. Hats off to them. But, you know, that's why in the beginning of the game, you got to score. You got to score, and you got to get stops. We gave up back-to-back stops, and that put us the energy in their favor. And second half, we played a great half. You notice they didn't score after the two drives, but the damage was already done. A couple drops here, a couple things here. But shout-outs to them, brother. It's not easy, bro.
You know that better than anybody. It's not easy, but the rest was able to get back here. You won last year, you won this, you lost this year. What are you feeling about your team right now?
I love my team forever. See y'all next year, man. That's it. Hopefully we have Ad as our quarterback. Hopefully we got the same core. If not, as always, I will find the best available talent, and I will make wine with water.
That's fine. Look, that's fire. That's fire. That's fire. We're going to thank Stoney. We're going to thank Stoney for being here. We appreciate it. They did that. That was smooth. That was smooth. That's love. That's love. We appreciate y'all. Talk to y'all. So, yo, that was Stephen J here with Henry. First round draft pick. Championship MVP. Yo, Henry, they call you the villain. A lot of teams passed on you. Did you take it personal that you dropped so far in the draft?
Of course.
Of course. That's why I played with a chip on my shoulder. I just wanted to prove everybody wrong, keep my head, and just win a chip. That's it.
And you won it with winning the MVP of the game. What was it like, the experience of playing in the championship on this atmosphere?
It was definitely good. Fans was good. My team came out and we just played, man. We loved it. We enjoyed it.
You got criticized all season this season. Y'all started off slow. Y'all had little issues. What was the mindset during the season when y'all was struggling?
We didn't have a full team every week. We didn't have a full team every week. And we said when we come together, we unstoppable. That's it. When we come together, we unstoppable. We just play for each other.
They went out and got you because of what happened to them last year, losing to the same team. What does it feel like to know that you capitalized on the reason they got you? They brought you here to do this. What you feeling knowing that they had the faith in you? Because a lot of people told Doughboy, don't touch you, leave you alone. But he drafted you. What does that say about his trust in you?
I knew Doughboy for a while. Me and Doughboy was talking before the draft, and I was like, take me. You won't regret it. I promise you, take me. And he made that move.
Rel's been getting disrespected at quarterback. What can you tell the audience about Relly?
He needed receivers that's going to go get the ball. That's it. He's a great quarterback. When I say, yo, Rel's my quarterback, we just got to catch the ball. He's a great quarterback, man. There's nothing else to be said.
And you win one with Wes. Y'all won with Carver. Y'all come over here and help this team win a championship.
My brother right there, man. Me and my brother, we just going to take over everywhere we go. That's it. We just going to take over.
We're going to thank Henry for being with us. He got drafted. got a championship, won an easy, smooth $1,000, and was a part of the team to beat the team that beat them last year. This guy shows he's the best in football. Ain't nothing you can say about this man. The proof is in the pudding. We're going to congratulate him.
Good job, baby. Thank you.
Stephen J here with second-round pick Wes of PME, where they won the championship. Wes, you was criticized all season, especially by myself. You stood quiet. You said you're going to wait until the end. It's the end. What do you got to say?
Hey, all I'm going to say, all right? Bizarre out, man. Bizarre
out. You know he's been waiting. He's been waiting to say that. Chad. Yo, look. He's been waiting to say it. Look. Now he can show the hard way. Look.
Listen. Turn that around. Listen, first of all, like I said, man, all glory to God, bro. First and foremost, all glory to God, man. My fault. I'm thankful for PME. Thankful for everybody, first and foremost. This was, I'm not going to lie, this year, like this last championship will be like, I cleaned up the city this year. You know what I'm saying? Went to Expo, won it. City Island won it. EHS won it twice. This is the only one I didn't get yet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy I got that cleaned up the city. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. Jay, listen, I told you I'm a patient man. I told you I'm a patient man. It's okay. We all, make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? We all make mistakes. We got to own up to it. It's all good, but we're going to talk. I know you're going to go on live later. That's when we're going to have fun.
Last question. What was it like playing in this atmosphere? I know you heard about it. But in the lights, everybody watching you, the fans, what is it like?
Hey, so this is my first time here playing out here on TFL, so it was definitely different, man. I ain't gonna lie, I enjoyed the hell out of it. We brought the energy early. I've been waiting. I ain't gonna lie, I've been waiting all like this whole week to get out there, man. So it was definitely met up to expectations, bro. I'm thankful.
Shout out to Wes, he's a champion. Hey, quick $500 he won. You know what I mean? Nice, little light work, little 500 light work, and they won $5,000. Shout out to Wes. All right, appreciate it. Chad, you got another one, man. You won one with IOD. You back here with PME. What are you feeling right now having another one in your belt?
It feels good. It was supposed to be 3.
Right.
They stole one from me last year, so they was not getting it this year. I was so locked in it. Oh,
look at this. Doughboy's giving out on camera. Look.
I take care of my team. That's one thing nobody can ever say. I take care of my team.
Hello. Oh, sorry. Guys get to go, feed the fam. You got to feed the fam. It felt good. I wish I would have gotten the end zone this one, but it's another one. So what they gonna say now?
What they gonna say now? We're gonna congratulate Chai. He's another champion. He got another one. Shout out to him. Stephen J. here with Stephen J. here with Relly, Courage, Jaquan. Let me start with you, Jake. Matter of fact, let me start with you, Rel. Bro, you got killed in football with your comment. I knew what you meant. I know you never meant it disrespectfully. I'm gonna say what I always been saying. I figure you're saying because of the college level you played on, this is not that much pressure as going through that. You didn't disrespect it because why would you play in it if you didn't respect it? So I understand what you're saying, but you got criticized a lot. And when you lost the championship, people seem to be happy that you lost. How do you feel right now knowing that you came back the following year and won the championship? Same team.
This is not real football. I'm going to start with that. Because y'all niggas want to get mad. It's not real football. And when I mean that, I mean timing. I mean, you ain't got a ass a DN at 350 running a 4-4 tackling you. So don't understand that. So the people who know, was like, Rel, you ain't say nothing wrong. Those who don't, they don't get it. But either way, we came back, turned up like we were supposed to do, you know, and that's it.
Won by Yankee Stadium.
Facts. Big Queens.
We seen you get it moving. We seen Ad struggle. Is it different? We told people for weeks it's different playing in this atmosphere. The lights are bright. Everybody's watching you. What was you feeling going through the emotions of playing in this field?
Like high school. Brought it back to high school. And not only that, if you seen our sideline, it was just our team and a couple people. You seen their sideline, it was the whole park. They could say it's because they on the stand side, whatever, but we always know we the underdog wherever we play. Even if we got the better players, we always are underdog, and we love that. And we don't want you to believe in us. We just going to keep winning chips, and y'all just keep talking. That's it.
Jaquan.
Yes, sir.
After Relly, you're the second most criticized guy in football. You've been your leadership has been questioned, especially by me. Your team, the way your team kind of loses it, was been questioned, especially by me. This
last defense, criticized by you,
by me. But y'all seem to not panic when everybody else on the outside counted you out. What are you feeling now, knowing the journey it took to get here, and this is the end of the story?
Well, they're going to say, nah, let me stop. Nah, I'm gonna be real though, bro. Like I said from the beginning, I wasn't playing to be the best regular season team and going for the regular season chip. We was going to play and get through for the championship, man. I wasn't worried about everything else, what our stats was, who was giver of the year, who was whatever. We came to win, man. That's it.
It was said that Henry coming here wouldn't work. That's what everybody said, especially working with you, especially after y'all had Swiss before. Two different players. You was the one, a part of it, telling Doughboy to take Henry. Why was you so confident that he wouldn't destroy what y'all built getting to the championship last year?
Because I played with Henry, man. Like, I think maybe his competitiveness get misjoked with like being a headache, but that's being a dog. That's what it is. Like, everybody can't beat Mr. Coolman Calm Collective when the game's on the line. Somebody show emotion. That's what Henry is. But to give us a dog like him and Wes, like, y'all bugging out. Like, I said that from the get-go. Like, let him play football. Let Wes play football. We worry about everything else. That's why I said I wasn't worried about regular season, all that. He been cool. He never argued. He never cared about anything. Coming in, coming out. He had a problem with staying in safety. We put him back in safety, and it was fine, bro. We made plays after that. That's all I care about, man. He played winning football. That's all I care about.
Quan, you lose a championship. You have a devastating Achilles rupture. I can tell you about it. I've been through it. You go through that, then you come back, and you get to a championship, and you win it. What was that like, that journey?
I ain't gonna front. Tell my Achilles was tough. That comeback. He tore his Achilles too. That joint is tough. So being here, I know I tried to come back for the EHS thing and it ain't work, but I feel good now. We playing big. We got a chip, man. That's all I really care about, honestly. Like, my Achilles feel good. I'm good, man. We good.
Courage.
Yeah. Birthday ball.
Yo, listen, man.
Courage. You said it straight up, and I love, and y'all know me, I love honesty. You took it personal that you didn't win Giver of the Year. You took it personal that you wasn't up there for Rookie of the Year. You seem to, and you was up. You got a few votes for MVP of the game. You seem to dominate, even though you had one sack. You dominated, pushing Dot. Dot is one of the best blockers in the league, and you gave him trouble. What was your mindset knowing that you was gonna have to battle a guy like that?
Just you know what I mean? I always have my own motivation, you feel me? I feel like it was a little disrespectful. It just in my head the whole game, I just playing back and forth like, nah, I ain't get that award, so now I gotta show and prove who the big dog in this pocket, you feel me?
Your team was so confident in you. They a lot of times they sent you one-on-one, they didn't send help. What is it like to have a defense behind you that all you gotta bring is some pressure and they're gonna make plays?
A big dog recognize a big dog, you feel me? And we got a room full of big dogs. Nah, but honestly, it's just fun playing like with just great athletes. I know they trust me to do my thing, and I trust them on the back end. So it just goes hand in hand.
Really, you have won a title. PME is now up there with some of the best in football. Carver won here. IOD won here. You had some Super Friends and you had some top players win here, and now y'all can put PME's name up on that. What does that feel like, especially doing it here? I know you lost your shit, but you're here in history where this field is at. What is it like that? What are you feeling? What's going on? We want to know what's going through your head right now.
We should have won twice. Point blank. Like, I'm happy, but yeah, 2 of them things would have really been like, all right, now what? What y'all got to say? But honestly, playing here, I done played here. You feel me? I played here in college, so to run it back, yeah, with the lights, I ain't gonna lie. I might have to do the Saturday night lights. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That bring out everything, man. It remind me of high school, and
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you something personal. I want you to understand this. You've been disrespected. You've been criticized, and you came out and you follow everybody's rules. You follow the same thing everybody else, and you have a title, and no one can take this away from you. No one can ever take this moment away from you. So I want you to enjoy the moment. I'm going to give you your flowers. You've been criticized by a lot of people. Your team has been criticized of having talents but no titles.
What they gonna say now?
He just said it. What they gonna say?
And we finally won Uptown. My only goal was, I don't care about winning anywhere else. I done did BQFL Casino, but Uptown, EHS is next.
You heard that? EHS is next. Yo, shout to PME. Oh, I'm gonna let y'all know real quick, early. Let Ghost know what song y'all want for y'all championship video. Let Ghost know what song you want for the champion soon as possible, for he can. Yeah. So y'all have time. Y'all got time. Y'all figure it out.
I want TV off, and I want that joint. I want TV off when it come on. I want score a touchdown, say mustard.
Yeah, we want the song "Grateful" with DJ Khaled.
Grateful. Okay, he won Grateful. Ghost will work on that. Shout to Doe. Shout to PME. They the champs. No one can take it from them. Shout to them.
Also, shout out to me. Shout out to Tech, because it's our birthdays at 12 o'clock. You heard Big Sag season. Big Queens in this bitch.
Appreciate that, guys. We'll talk to y'all soon. Shout to PME. They the champs. They got along. They can enjoy this moment. Shout to them. We talk to y'all soon. We out. All right. Shout to them. Appreciate the interviews. Y'all guys saw all the facilities, however they say it. Excuse me, it's hard for me to speak.
Festivities.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know what the heck he was trying to I'm like, what?
Yo, Ghost picked it up quick.
Making up words.
What's your final thought, Ghost?
I'm going to say one thing that nobody's really talked about that you usually see from Rep City or notice from Rep City that was not there.
Oh, Henry's giving the championship MVP. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Congrats to Henry. He deserved it. He's been lights out throughout the whole playoffs. He's been one of their main players and one of their main engines that helped them get to this championship and ultimately was a catalyst to help them win. But one thing I noticed, like I was saying before about Rep City that you didn't see, they were super quiet this game on the sideline. You did not hear them at all. You could hear a pin drop from their sideline most of the game. And even PME noticed that early in the game because they mentioned it. When they were scoring their first two touchdowns, they pointed out how quiet they were. Rep City did not come out with the fire that they normally come out. Stoney's trying to fire up the team. They did not sound as fired up as they usually do. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just me, but I didn't feel that fire that I heard from them last year.
Yeah.
Was it because they were nervous? Was it because they came in late and they weren't in sync with each other? It was a lot that was just different with this team and ultimately showed in their gameplay. Another thing is this team did not really warm up until like the last seconds when the game was about to start.
Yep.
I was here in the All-Star game because he was able to pick up his plaque when they gave up the game, the plaques before the game started. He was here. The team wasn't. While the game is going on, the team should be here warming up, strategizing, talking, getting things together. They weren't. Now, granted, PME was late too, but who can question them? They were the winners.
The winners, yep.
So at the end of the day, Rep City was a team that came out without the same energy, without the same fight. As much as Stoney tried with that huddle, with them on at halftime, it didn't matter. This team was not the same Rep City And I'm not even gonna say it's because they didn't have Adi. No.
Right.
This team just wasn't the same Rep City last year. And that's nothing to do with Adi. It was just their energy was off. And that's what threw everything off.
Ghost, do you think they didn't take them serious?
I don't think that's what it was. It's hard for me to say that they didn't take them serious, but I don't know what it was. It's hard for me to believe that they didn't take them serious when they have, to me, they are a better PME team on paper, and the way they play in the playoffs, they were a better team this year than last year. So you better take them serious, and they did it, and that's probably what the outcome was. I doubt that that's what the case. They just came out not the same.
You know, I'm before you go, Stephen J. I'm happy for Rel. You know what I'm saying? Who, you know, he hasn't really shown up in certain games. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy that they got the championship, and also for Quan. You know, coming back from an injury, and he made defensive plays in this game.
Yeah.
You know, we had the two deflections, you know, which led to one to an interception, if I'm not mistaken, besides the other one that he knocked down. You know, this was it was about time. You know how PME has played well and get bumped in the first round. You know what I'm saying? In these last 2 seasons, you know, they show up, and you know, they showed up to the championship and finally got to win one.
Listen, and Wes is on the field. He gets to brag that, you know, he kind of cleaned up the city because he won every championship.
Oh, he needs to shut up.
You know, but listen, at the end of the day, is it true? It's true. You know, he won Expo, he won City Island, he won UFL, he won UFL. Like, what else is there? You know? So
get out of here. They ain't win because of him.
No, I'm not saying. No.
I'm just saying. You know, West. Shut it up, West.
You sound like a hater right now, man.
Sound like a complete hater.
He knows I always get on him. But you know what? That, you know, you had 2 Emmys, 2 Africans on this team, you know, that helped, you know, I'm just saying. You got one from Ghana and one from Nigeria. You know, what's next? Come on, Americans, show up. Darn it. Trump 2024.
I can't with you, Lou. I can't.
Sorry, I had to go through some of the numbers. First of all, shout to PME. Shout to Rep City. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was a great game. It's not gonna go up there as one of the best games in UFL. Definitely not. I think the game last year was a little more close, but this game not as much. I think we went through the same thing when PME trying to make a run late last year. Rep City tried to make a run this year. So the games wasn't as close. Neither game is going as one of the best of all time. But it's great to see both teams rematch. You got to give them their props on that. Now, let me start with Rep City first, since they lost the game. I'm sorry. I got to tell the truth. Ad cost Rep City this game. Ad play horrible. Horrible. And that last touchdown he scored, the shady, was empty calories. But it makes it look like he had a decent game. When you see the score, he didn't. He didn't. He played horrible. Rep City's defense was able to stop PME 4 consecutive. After PME's first 2 touchdowns, they didn't score again. So they had the ball after the 2 touchdowns. They had the ball 4 times, not counting the last one with Henry fair caught it, because that we're not gonna count that. But they stopped them 4 times, including making them punt twice. So that championship defense showed up. They showed up a little late, but they showed up. Ad had the ball 6 times and scored twice. Ad went 0 for 3 in the first half. Ad threw 3 interceptions. Now, this is the funny part. You know I had to go through my numbers. This is the first game. Ad played 8 games, right? Ad played 9 games. 6 in the regular season and 2 in the playoffs, including the championship. So it's 3 playoffs, including the championship. It's the first game he didn't score in the first half, which they lost. Ad this year threw, and I put the stats up, and I forgot to change it, but overall he threw 6 interceptions this year. Not 4, 6. You know what's the funny part about that, Lou and Ghost? In 3 games, including this one, that Ad threw multiple interceptions, you know they lost all 3 games? He threw 3 interceptions versus Don't Sleep. They lost. He threw 2 interceptions versus LES. They lost. And he threw 3 interceptions this game. They lost. So every game he threw multiple interceptions, they lost. The first time this season where he didn't score in the first half, they lost. In the playoff run, in the first 2 playoff games, do you know he scored 8 out of 12 possessions? He scored 8 out of 12 possessions. And he waits until the championship to score 2 out of 6 possessions. The lights was too bright for him. Too bright. Too bright.
I think they were bright in general. I think they were brighter than normal. But listen, for a rookie, as bright as it is for a regular player or for a player that has experience, it's going to be brighter for a rookie, definitely. So yes, I definitely agree with you there.
In their championship game last year, Adi scored on his first 2 possessions. Then in the second half, he went 1 for 3, but he scored early. I didn't. Now, Ad is playing complete. Listen, no Dre, no Swiss. So that defense they're playing is different. And then they had a pass rusher. So that team that they played in PME is way different from the team they played last year. Not the same team. And in this game, 2 of their playmakers, which is Grunk and Shady, didn't play well. Counting that touchdown that Shady caught at the end of the game, nothing. Grunk had a pass tip that he dropped. But the way Grunk talks and cleans and how he's the man, the reason people don't put Grunk on that top level is because of games like this.
You mean Chris?
So at the end of the day, their loss of their leader showed this game. That's why they were quiet. You could rah-rah all you want. Stoney could come up with whatever he want. He wanted to be up there for Coach of the Year. He was upset that he wasn't named up there for Coach of the Year. So why you unjust when you see Courage bringing pass rush to your quarterback? Why? Where's the screens? What I always say, when your quarterback is rattled, let me get a screen. You got a fast pass rusher. When he blitzes, let him go. Throw the screen. Have Dot lead him down the field. We saw none of that. So Stoney wants the credit of being a coach when he's not coaching. You didn't adjust. You didn't turn it around in the second half with your offense. PME took their foot off the pedal. They were giving up plays because they knew they were up. They knew that they had rattled. It's not a question that every time he throws multiple interceptions, they lose. You know what that means? His confidence drops. You know what that means? That cool, calm, and collected guy drops. You know what he turns into? Danny Dimes. That's how he looked this game. He looked lost out there. Like he didn't know what was going on. So I know he gave, it's play humble or be humble. Remember he said he got Chuck. These are the guys he wanted to play. That's what he wanted to do. Well, you played in the championship game and played horrible. If I had to give out percentages on who did what, I would have to give Ad 75% of the blame. 3 interceptions is huge. Having your balls tipped, I had to say, having your passes tipped at the line of scrimmage and all is bad. And then I got to give something to Stoney. You can hype me up all I want. The problem is, this ain't 8 Mile. I don't need a hype man. I need a coach.
This ain't 8 Mile. Wow.
Hey. Before you go to Stoney, one thing you forgot, he actually threw 4 interceptions. Remember, the extra point to Twan counts too. But
but we don't count that on the real stats. But yeah.
But the reason why I'm saying it counts is because they get that extra point, they can go
chasing 2 scores
and tie the game. So because that was thrown by Ad, another interception that does count, even though we normally don't. That is a big play right there.
Yeah.
That look at as serious as they should have, and it came back to them in the end.
He didn't look good at all. He didn't look good, and it don't matter. You beat the GOAT, absolutely, but they had a horrible defense. You know, you beat UTF, great, horrible offense. You played one of the most stacked teams in the UFL, and you didn't compete. You played horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, his troops are going to say, hey, Leo, listen, we need him. I'm going to call a spade a spade. You can't throw 3/4 interceptions in the game and not take credit for the loss. Your team were down 2 scores mostly the whole game. This PME defense did exactly what they wanted to do. They confused him. They sent pressure, which kind of disrupted their offensive attack. And they knew the weakness was that same quarterback. They knew that. And his inability to get Cabby the ball hurt them. So they fumbled the ball. They fumbled an opportunity to be up there with some of the best dynasties as far as Carver Mob, IOD, repeating champions. That's when you make a dynasty, when you're repeating. Now, shout to them for getting back to the championship. I give them that. That's great. But you had a chance to be up there with some of the best ever as far as going back to back, and you lost with your quarterback, your young quarterback, being the main reason you lost. He played bad. He played really bad. Got to call a spade a spade. He played bad. And earlier, everybody at the field thought Grunk dropped that ball. He did, but the ball was tipped. And you saw what Go said. He had him early, and he missed the throw. So once again, Ad has to learn to adjust his game. Every time, the 3 games, counting this one, that he threw multiple interceptions, they lost every single game. That has to be said. That's your confidence when that happens. Because they lost to LES. Wasn't LES a wild card team?
Yep.
They lost to Don't Sleep. Wasn't Don't Sleep a wild card team?
Yep.
Those are the teams you lost to when you threw multiple interceptions. And now you do it against the worst team you could do it to, which was PME. On the other side, this is the UFL is all about, guys. We've seen PME lose in the first round, I believe, 4 years in a row. Then we see them make a run. Now, one of those losses that they got in the first round was when they had Swiss.
Yeah.
But then they see the next year they make a championship appearance. You can't say that Swiss wasn't a part of that, changing the culture. I'm sorry. That's the word. He changed the culture and brought more of a winning culture, which helped them get to the championship. So they were prepared to make the run. They just went out and got more talent. Now, when you replace a Dre for a West and a Henry, that's a big upgrade. When you lose Swiss, who was sometimes giving it the ball and playing linebacker, and add a Courage, that's an upgrade. Rep City went out and got superstars. That's what they did. They had stars. They had homegrown stars. They went out and got superstars. And what they did this game was Rel didn't try to do too much. Last year, Rel went 3 of 6 last year, but they lost. This game, they didn't expect him to do too much. Once he got the lead, he didn't play crazy. He threw a big interception to Rel, but that was going into the half when he threw the ball up. He got stopped, he punted, and that was it. So he played smart, and he allowed his defense to help him, especially, Lou Ghost, they knew they was going to get at rattled. You can tell they knew.
The funny thing is, remember how you said that Rel got stopped on one of those drives? He ran the ball so that he could pin them on the 5-yard line.
Yep.
He was playing smart. Even though he got stopped, he knew that his defense is going to back him up, and that was the point.
And you know what was great? And people say, why did Henry get the MVP? He caught a touchdown. He got a pick. That wasn't the two big plays. You know what it is? He punted the ball twice. And when he punted the ball, he threw them inside the 5 twice. So he gave already a rattled quarterback having to drive down the field. That was great in itself. You get what I'm saying? So, listen, this team played great. No one can take this championship away from Rel. Did he play great? No. But no one's going to remember that. If you remember the Super Bowl that the Broncos got for Peyton Manning, Peyton Manning didn't play great, but he got a Super Bowl.
Yep.
That's what they did here. They helped him win. So he didn't expect to do too much. Jaquan statistically didn't do nothing. You know, the first game, the championship game last year, you know, Jaquan had 2 touchdowns. It didn't matter. This game, he said it in the interview because he had 2 touchdowns and they lost. So shout to them. They play complete, and no one deserved this more, like Lou said, than Doughboy. Doughboy cried last year when they lost. He cried. You know why? He's tired of being called a loser. He's tired of being saying, talent, no titles. That was the name of this team. Talent, no titles. And now you won. And not only did you win, you won with some of the best of all time. You won on the field as some of the best all time. Swiss, Chuck, and Pams. You know, Alex and the Super Friends team. Those are some big championship teams to win on this field. We're talking about on the field. There's a difference. Everybody else, you know, we're going to give UTF their props, Monarchs their props, but to win that 161 is different. Not taken away from their titles. They're all titles. But we're talking about the feeling. Ghost, we've been doing this longer than Lou. You know the feeling at 161 is different than anywhere else.
Yeah.
And you heard what Relly said. This reminded him of his high school days playing at night with everybody watching. And that was the atmosphere. So that's a great shout to them. Want to give them their props. Like I said, Henry got championship MVP. Henry wins $1,000 for being a first round pick. West wins $500 for being a second round pick. And the team wins $5,000 for winning the title. And you see Doughboy paying out his guys at the field. They're all getting a piece of that pie, which is awesome.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, and it's that much sweeter when the team that you're able to beat is the team that beat you last year.
Yeah.
So that's just the cherry on top. And understand, remember how you said that they labeled a loser, talent, no titles, or whatever? Guys from this team that they beat are some of the main ones criticizing them. These guys go back and forth all the time. It's almost like this was a rivalry game that was in a championship. So now, you know, to beat them this time, it was that much sweeter. So you got to, you know, give your props to them that they were able to fight hard and win this game.
Now, do we say, as we break this down real quick to end the show, is PME the favorite to go back-to-back?
Listen, I wouldn't put it past because they, first of all, going to the championship 2 years in a row, that says a lot. Especially when you didn't have a lot of the same guys last year that you had this year. You gained Courage, you gained Tech, you gained Henry, you gained West. You know, so you gained a lot of pieces that made your team better. Mainly Courage, West, and Henry were 3 difference makers on this team. You know, they gained a pass rush, a consistent pass rush with Courage. You have a linebacker who's a good two-way player, a great two-way player in West, and you have Henry. What else can you say about Henry?
Yeah, they say he's the best player in football.
I mean, they say that, but everybody knows that. It's not about just saying it. They know it. And he showed it in this game. He showed it throughout the playoffs. You know, so at the end of the day, you know, are they a favorite to go back to a championship? I mean, based on the fact that the same teams are going to be brought back next year, all of them, yes, I would say that they would be.
What about the situation with Alex? Now, Alex, if don't sleep, don't trade him. Alex is gonna go to either LES, Monarchs, or Primetime. So can you imagine if Primetime can get him and they'll get Lil back and they'll get Sal with their quarterback who led the Western Conference in touchdown passes? And Chris?
Listen, first of all, listen, I didn't even think about Primetime at all in terms of if they pick him up. Listen, that'll be unfair if they get him and then Leo's able to come back and play with this team. That will be unfair how good this team can be. Because they were so short and they didn't have a lot of their players here consistently, I think that's why they were a wild card team. Having Leo there and the extra help with Alex, especially him, being there, switching back and forth with Randy, giving him the ability to blitz and have Alex at the pass rush there, getting in the eyes of the quarterback. There's a lot of different options that this team can have with these guys there.
And don't forget what I said DG needs to do. I like Stevie, but if Ramsey decides to make a comeback, remember, you got to look through what teams can use him. I love the homegrown DG team, especially that Chuck was there. Can you imagine if Ramsey can go to one of those teams? I say it got to be DG. If I'm Hollywood, I love Stevie, but Stevie ain't it. If you can get Ramsey to come to the team and they can find a way to bring Dave back this season to go with Reem, wow. I mean, that could happen. What do y'all think? I'm talking about the Western Conference.
But here's the thing. You know what we're not talking about? Something that Stoney said at the end.
Oh, yes, Jay. Yes.
About
yes.
First of all, I'm glad that our God isn't the God that of the Old Testament. Because he should have been struck by lightning when he said he'll turn water into wine.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of cringed a little bit.
Mentioned that he even like wasn't sure about Adi coming back. Are you going to trade him? Are you going to bring Ad back because you're so confident in his ability?
Oh, if it's me personally, if Adi decides to come back and you want to stay with Ad, then I'm talking to DG and I'm trading Adi for Dave. Can you imagine if Dave gets over to Rep City
with
Crunk and Shady?
Yeah.
That and Cabby, and then you put Adi over in DG.
There's so many options and so many questions that's up in the air for next season that it's ridiculous. It's crazy to me that all these things can change the dynamics of the team next year. So I said that a lot of the teams are going to be the same, but if all of these things are possible, maybe not. Maybe the whole league is shaken up by some of these moves. We don't know. We just got to wait.
It goes since your last year having these players. So this is when you trade.
Yeah.
You got to make it to have a run because no one, not even remember what the league owner says, not even the championship team keeps their picks next year. Everyone's starting over. So this may be Cabby's last year playing with Rep City.
Yep.
So everything starts over. So you put all your chips on the table this year coming up. So anything can happen. So we'll talk more about that in the offseason as we see the moves. And we got to see, because Rob is now playing back with BK Nightmares. Does Rob come back? If Rob comes back, he goes to one of the wild card teams also. So would he go to Don't Sleep? He played with them. If Rob comes back, then Don't Sleep will get the first pick. They will be able to pick up Rob, and then the other three will have to raffle for Alex. That's where it'll go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So remains to be seen. It's going to be a great season. Next year, we'll break that down a little more. Last thing I'm going to say is, guys got to start giving PME their props. I didn't really see social media go crazy with PME winning all these posts, all these live streams talking about it, which is kind of whack. Because when Rep City won, we saw a lot of lives and talking about Rep City. PME won, we don't really see that. It's a little crazy to me. But PME don't care.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it for them anyway.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Lou, starting with you, your final thoughts of this season and what you look for next season.
Well, this season was interesting. You know what I'm saying? A great season. But next season, just that Adi situation. You know what I'm saying? And then the possibilities of where Alex will go. You know what I'm saying? If don't sleep, stays asleep. You know what I'm saying? And doesn't do what what they should have done. But I'm not gonna say what Stephen J would say with don't sleep, because I don't want no one chasing after me because I'm old with bad knees. But next season is gonna be some of these decisions, man. It's gonna be very exciting to see. Especially if they don't trade Alex.
Because they losing for nothing. If they don't.
Just a possibility. Those 3 wildcard teams just salivate.
And listen, first for me, I'm hoping and praying that we don't have to have another dust field this year. We can have some rain, some grass on the field. It was a dry fall. It was a dry fall for everybody in New York City. So it wasn't just us. It was dry, period. So hopefully we get some rain, have the grass growing again and everything. Let it not be a dust bowl.
Rain during the week.
Yeah, something. Because it was just a desert out there. But other than that, listen, I'm just excited on what's to come later on next year. What's to come? What's going to happen? Will these moves be made? Will Don't Sleep pull the trigger and make that trade? Or will they default and have Alex be lost for nothing? Will Dave show up? If the team is built to the point where he feels like it's worth
for DG.
DG, yes. Sorry. Or will Leo play with Primetime and help the team become the better team that they were supposed to be? Will there be trades being made with them? What's going to happen with Ramsey? There's so many questions that's up there. So many questions that need to be answered, and I cannot wait until they are finally answered, because that's exciting to hear.
It was a great season. I'm waiting to see how GTM upgrades their team. They had a good team this season, and I'm pretty sure they're going to make some moves. They're going to get more players that wants to play with them. That's another team. I think that Western Conference may be a little more tough next year. We got to see what happens with the Monarchs, because they were still a wild card team. With the number 1 pick in the league, they were the wild card. Now, yes, they made a run to the Final Four. Shout to them. But this still wasn't a successful season. They didn't end with a title, which is what they expected, and they still had a wild card team. LES, Corey got to show he can win. Corey's not a winner. Corey has been with 3 teams, played in 3 seasons since the drive, and the 3 seasons he plays a wild card team every year. It's not a winner. Doesn't win. So stop the professor, because if you're you can't call a guy a professor when he's teaching. I'm not even going to say it. You can't call a guy a professor if he's not successful. Something is wrong, because I need to know what the heck are you teaching if you're not successful.
Whoa. To be fair, not fair to Corey, Chuck.
Oh, well, I just said it. Chuck and Monarchs, they were a wild card team, and Chuck has not won a championship since the draft era, which is an issue, and shows that Chuck can't win without his team. Without his Carver team, Chuck cannot win. Without their Carver team, Pam's can't win. So, and the team that Pam's left won a championship without him. He was coaching PME. One game that they won, and they won the title without him.
Listen, he can't win an A championship. Let's just actually clarify that, because he won with Jungle Boys, coaching them.
No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about everything we talk about is UFL.
Yes.
So
let's be honest. If you think about it,
he's one of the best. They're one of the best duos in football. And their legacy can't be questioned at all. But since they have not been with Carver in UFL, they have not won a title. They went to Monarchs, didn't win. They went to DG, didn't win. That's all we talk about.
Yeah.
Winning and losing.
Right. You know what that shows, though? That shows that playing with your team matters.
But yeah. Now, I think they need to be more involved and take over Monarchs a little more and make additions and subtractions because this group is not going to work.
Not with the defense the way they are. And understand.
I think
and that shows, listen, but look, the criticism of Chuck extends to Corey. Can he win without his YMM guys?
No, Corey has not won a title at all. Chuck got 3. Corey has none. Yeah. But we're not going to do that. We're not going to put Corey and Chuck on 2 different levels as far as UFL legacy.
But you got to remember.
But draft era I'm talking about, though. I'm not talking about complete legacy. I'm talking about draft era. These are 2 of the top quarterbacks in the draft. None of them won a championship.
Corey legacy in UFL is he does not win. He has not been to a championship game.
Hold up. How many times did Corey play with YMM? One time?
Corey played 3 seasons.
3 seasons? Okay. I'll take that back.
And he won the scoring title in 1 year. Yeah.
Yeah, I take that back. I take that back. Yeah. That wow, Jay, you putting the pressure on him.
So I told you about LES. I'm going through all the teams real quick. I told you about the Monarchs. Really quick. Let me speed through this. Now, I'll talk about Rep City. I'll talk about who's the other team I'm forgetting?
Record this 2 hours now.
We had 2 hours?
Yes.
All right. But you gotta cut stuff out. We paused for a minute.
Yeah, but it's still gonna be at least an hour and a half.
Hour is fine. What else? All right, take the spot out. Who am I forgetting? Oh, okay. Jump back on. UTF. They got to figure out what they're gonna do next season. Who's their quarterback? If Jeremy comes back, is he a quarterback? Is Asad your quarterback? What's gonna happen? I think Asad is your future, and you could use Jeremy on offense and defense. Yeah. But is he gonna be cool with that? No, I don't think that's gonna fly.
Jeremy may not show up if that's the case.
Right. So they got to figure out what they want to do. Now, Jeremy is the better player. Asad is the most exciting player. And he's the youth coming up. We already seen Jeremy's limits. He's a title winner. We know what he could do. Asad, the ability that this kid has is definitely a Mar Jackson type. So we got to see what happens. And we got to see if Tone is coming back. We don't even know what Tone is going to do. So that's for them. Now, Rep City got to figure. We talked about them. We got to see what they're going to do. Are they bringing Adi back? Are they trading Adi? We got to see what they're going to do with that team. And the last one, who was the other team? I said LES, Monarchs, Rep City, UTF. Who's the other team?
You spoke about DG. You spoke about them.
No, we talking about in the East.
Okay. And who's left?
Who's left?
Raiders? You said the Raiders.
As I said, LES Monarchs, they were the wild card. UTF and Rep City. Oh, real quick. And Street Fan. They lit up the score. They're a regular season team. That's what they are. They had the defensive player of the year. They had the block of the year. They had the quarter MVP of the season. And they lost in the first round. Well, they lost in the second round only because they had a bye. So they lost their first game in the playoffs. So their regular season mean nothing.
We got to see a wild card team.
They lost to a wild card team. So we got to see what they're going to do. But no one takes this team seriously, and they got to figure it out. On the other side, Don't Sleep got to see if they're going to sell the team. Because every year it's been bad. They always been a wild card. They don't win. If they decide to move on and somebody else, mixed careers over in UFL because no one's going to pick him up to throw because they don't like his style. I think he's a good quarterback, but the teams don't like his style. We already talked about primetime, what they may do if they could get Alex and these guys. DG, we talked about them if they get Joe. We talked about everybody. PME has to be the favorite. I already told you about GTM. I think PME is the favorite to come back and win the title. They're bringing everyone back. They don't need to make no upgrades. They don't need to make no signings. They need to keep this same team and go for another run. So that being said, we're going to have to see what happens next year. We're going to wrap this one up and the season up. On behalf of Real Tough Talk, I'm Stephen J, my partner Ghost, my other partner Lou the Shooter. We're going to see our guys in the offseason as we get close to the UFL. We will be back, I would say, in June. We'll see our guys in June. Shout out to all the leagues going. Shout out to all the guys going. We'll talk to y'all guys soon. Like I always tell y'all guys, keep God first. Everything else will fall in place. Much shout. Love to my family, my wife, my 3 kids. Shout out to Wise for all the stuff he did for us. Shout out to the league owner, Tim. Appreciate you. All the guys that helped out. Tone, Pams, Dio, all my refs, all my crew. Appreciate all y'all guys. Thank y'all for everything y'all do. We'll talk to y'all later. See y'all guys next season. I'm out.